Hall Communications provides equal opportunities for all legally qualified political candidates in accordance with FCC regulations. If you are a candidate for public office and would like to request equal time regarding content that has aired, please contact our station directly. We will be happy to work with you to schedule appropriate airtime. For more information, please reach out to the station office. 860-456-1111.
Let's talk about it. Each Friday at this time, hosts Dennis O'Brien and Susan Johnson interview guests who are involved in their community. The show challenges conventional thoughts, probes for answers, remembers the past, imagines the future, and gets to the heart of the matter. Let's Talk About It is brought to you by Columbia Ford Kia, Route 6 in Columbia, Connecticut, and Gates GMC Nissan, Route 66, the Boston Post Road, North Windham, USA. Opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of WILI staff, management, or sponsors. Now, let's join our hosts with their guests and let's talk about it.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk About It. This is Susan Johnson, and I'm here with my co-host, Dennis O'Brien. And we have a fabulous show for you this evening. We're going to talk about Jazz in the Garden, which is an annual event in Wyndham Center, which helps raise money for the Wyndham Center Library, a historic library that's been there for quite some time. And we have a wonderful guest who's going to talk to us about this, who's worked very hard on making sure we have great events at the Jazz in the Garden program in Wyndham Center. Steve Lamoreaux, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Steve, you're on the board of directors of the library, the Wyndham Free Library, correct?
I am.
Are you the president, vice president?
Vice president now.
Are you still the vice president? Okay.
Well, only about a year.
Oh, only about a year? Okay, so you'll be there for a while. I'm the vice president of the Willimantic Taxing District Board of Directors.
Oh.
So we're both we got a couple of Veeps here.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that and $1.25 to get you a cup of coffee.
Yes. Well, you know what?
Volunteer.
You're a volunteer, just like I am. I mean, volunteering is, an important part of our community, of any community.
Yes, it is.
You can't. I mean, the government can't do everything. The private sector isn't going to do everything, and you got all these volunteer people that do all kinds of great stuff. And Jazz in the Garden is one of the highlights of the year. I think it's right up there, almost with the boombox parade. And
I would say it's become certainly a wonderful tradition.
Well, it's 24 years now.
This is the 23rd year.
Okay, I'm off by one.
With a couple of years off for COVID.
Oh, that's okay.
So I think it
that's
started
why.
in 2000, and then 2019, 2021, and 22, we didn't have the event. So it's now back up and running again since 23.
Well, it's wonderful. It's been great fun. I've gone to, I think, almost every single one, unless I was out of the state.
About, yeah.
If I was out of state, I didn't make it, but most of the time I'm around here in September. So,
good.
Yeah, and so we're planning on we're gonna be there, right, Dennis? And
yes, and we should say, and we're going to say over and over again, because sometimes people tune in and unfortunately tune out. So we got to make sure that everybody knows it's Sunday, the 7th of September. This coming Sunday, from 3 to 6 p.m. at 80 Wyndham Center Road,
which is a new location as of 2 years ago.
Right. It originated at the Gibson, Shane Gibson.
Yep.
At 10 Wyndham Center Road, and then now we're at 80 Wyndham Center Road, and that's a really nice house and a big yard.
And a barn.
And a barn, yeah.
A large barn that was moved from Guilford.
Oh, really? I didn't know that barn was from Guilford.
I just was there this afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah,
They've had some events in there for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know we had some poetry readings and book sales and all kinds of nice events there. So yes, very good people that are hosting this.
Yes. Yep. It's a great location, beautiful location.
It is gorgeous.
Inside or out. And we'll make a decision tomorrow whether or not we're going to have it inside, because the weather reports right now are...
That bad?
Well, nobody wants to stand out in the rain.
Right.
No, I know, but is it how the likelihood is...
Well, we have to make a decision tomorrow because we set up the tents and the chairs and the tables
it's a lot
and
of
everything.
Work.
We need to know where we're going. 2 years ago, when we had a pouring down rain,
right,
we had 106 people there.
Yeah.
Inside the barn. I mean, the barn is very large.
I know we were there because I've seen a picture of Susan there in the group on the, you have all those pictures of past events. I don't know why I'm not in there, but I guess I'm not as photogenic as she is. But not anymore.
Don't take it
anyway.
personally.
Not anymore. Used to be. A long time ago. Anyway, it's
like
always
a
a great
photo
event. And you've got a great. It looks like you've got a really good jazz group coming. I know it's called
Mama Train.
Mama Train, and they're I guess I checked them out, and I've listened to some of their music, and I guess there's basically a guy who plays the piano and a female vocalist. But they also have a guitar player and a drummer.
A bass player and a drummer.
Oh, okay, it's a bass. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yep. No, they're from
I
Hartford.
love music, but I don't. I've never
Yeah.
played. So.
They're from Hartford. They're really amazing. We had them last year, so this is the second year. We're
Okay,
having
so
them.
I've heard them before then because we were there last
Yeah,
year.
yeah. She's a great voice, and he is an amazing keyboard player.
He is, and she does she has a really great jazz voice.
Yes.
I'd say. I used to be. I've gone through a whole different periods of commitment to music. I got into classical for years and years and years, and then when I started with way back, when the most of the music was church music, and went right up through to the 20th century. And when you get to the 20th century, you start thinking that 20th century classical is pretty jazzy, a lot of it. And so I got into jazz, and I was into jazz for about 5 or 6 years, and now lately, I don't listen to anything but Bob Dylan.
Do you really? Huh.
I'm a big Bob Dylan fan, and I have friends who say, "Gee, why did Bob Dylan go electric?" And I said, "I don't think Bob Dylan would still be around, doing concerts and stuff, and still be popular among some older people anyway, if he didn't go electric." Mm-hmm. So anyway, I like all kinds of music, and jazz is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to have jazz at a party.
Yes.
In a beautiful location.
One of the things I was going to ask is, why don't we talk a little bit about the reason for the Jazz in the Garden event? It is a fundraiser, and tell us a little bit about some of the things that this wonderful event actually does for the Windham Center area and the town of Windham, because it is a historic building.
The Windham Free Library is separate from the Willimantic Library.
Correct.
And it's been around since like the 1860s. The building was a bank, so it's a very small, sturdy building.
Yeah.
We also own the Dr. Hunt office, which is an adjacent tiny little building.
That's really tiny.
Next door.
But it's nice looking. It's
It
very
is.
pretty.
It's very pretty. It's very unique. We used to, when the Windham Center School was open, we would have readings, children's book readings in there.
Yeah.
The kids would come over and sit on the floor of the Dr. Hunt office, and we would read stories in the fall and in the spring.
Sure.
So we're going to miss that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they do have children's programs during the summer with alpacas and raptors, and they've had a number of different things like that. And then we have music. The highlight, of course, is the Willimantic Concert Band.
Sure.
They were fantastic. I think they were like 6 tubas and 9 trumpets,
My
11
goodness.
trombones.
Wow.
It was
big band.
It was
It's a
an
big band.
amazing sound.
I saw them
That's
last year in Chaplin. I'm town attorney in Chaplin, and we went to a concert over there. They appeared at the Chaplin town in the Garrison Park there, and they were great. They were great. And there are a lot of people. There are a lot of folks in that band from Windham,
Yes.
Willimantic, including Willimantic.
Yeah. No, it is really a remark for a little town like this is. Their band is exceptional.
Well-
So is the orchestra.
Yes.
But the band is fun.
Well, it must
to
be
listen to
nice.
afterwards.
I love music, but I say I've never played, and I got into sports when I was very young, and I gave up art and everything, and I never got into music. But at least as a musician, but I love it, and it's really nice. And I expect that people who have been playing an instrument since they were very young, or probably want to be, associated with a local band, want to continue to play.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
there are kids from high school all the way to into their 80s.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
there are older. There are some older people.
And some of this last concert this past summer, they had high school kids who were going on music scholarships.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's
they were
fabulous.
phenomenal.
That is fabulous.
There was a xylophone player, and there was I forget what the girl played, but they've allowed them to shine.
It's good to know, and I think that at Jazz in the Garden, sometimes you see younger people there who probably, some of them probably are people who play instruments or play in local bands.
There may be.
It
Certainly, we
could
have
be.
plenty of artists.
Yeah,
And it is an attraction for artists. This year, we're
Yeah.
doing a little bit different. We've always had a silent auction,
right.
where local artists present.
Yeah.
What's the word for it? I'm drawing a blank.
They present their artwork.
Donate a piece of art,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then we have a silent auction. This year is different in that we are having 4 different artists, very different, who have the opportunity to show their wares.
Yeah.
But we're doing a live auction
Oh, really?
this
A
year
live
with
auction.
selected items from the community. Some of it is art, some of it is furniture, some of it is events, dinners, or weekend homes and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So we're going to try something different this year. And I think there's only about 20 or 22 items in the live auction part. And the artists will be separate from that people can wander through their tents and see. So we have Swiftwaters is going to be there.
Oh, great.
And there's another art guild of New England that's going to be there. And,
Yeah, you've got an artist
2 other.
group and
There are numbers of art.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kathy Shires.
So we're trying. One of the auctions items is from an artist who does a pet portrait.
Oh, how wonderful.
Isn't that kind of
Oh,
cool?
yeah.
That's her specialty.
Yeah.
I
So
got 3 cats.
Well,
we're
maybe
doing
we'll
that
have
as an
to
auction
hire her,
item.
Yeah.
There'll be a private tour of the Railroad Museum.
Oh, nice.
That's a different,
We love that.
something different
Sure.
for us and as an auction item. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But there's plenty. We have a bar, I guess you could call it that, with wine and also mocktails. There are past appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, and they're being passed this year again by the Eastern Connecticut State Rugby team.
Excellent.
Oh, that's
That's
real
always
meaning.
so great.
So this is their second year working with us.
Oh, that's great.
Or us working with them.
Oh, they're wonderful. They do a lot of volunteering.
Yeah, and so that's a great group of guys. They also help take down the event, which is a wonderful benefit
That's big.
at the end of the day.
Well, if they can play rugby, they can do anything. That's a
Right.
tough game.
Right. So that we're having them again, and it's a wonderful event for people to
Yeah.
mingle and
Yeah.
enjoy the music and enjoy each other's company and enjoy a glass of wine or two.
Yeah. They always
And,
have good snacks. I always like the
Yes,
snacks.
yeah, and the appetizers,
Yes.
I honestly don't know how many. Each person who's making an appetizer has to make 100
Uh-huh.
of them.
Wow.
So
That's
there's a
of
lot.
work.
The food lasts for about as long as the event goes on.
So
That's
it's a
wonderful.
well-oiled machine. It's a
It is.
It's a large group that works on this, and we were at one of the meetings at the McGrath's house, and it was quite well attended. There were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
A lot of people we know. We know a few people from Wyndham Center. I mean, even though we're Willimantic people. But, this is a great opportunity for people who live in Willimantic like us to get out there and see the best of Wyndham Center.
Right.
80 Wyndham Center Road is a great place.
Oh, yeah. No,
folks.
it's a beautiful mansion.
It's such a great atmosphere, and to be able to listen to music and be in really good company is great. I mean, it's just a wonderful experience. Like I think Susan and I have been to, if not all of them, maybe 22 out of 23 of
Wow.
the events, because we started with the Gibsons years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And we've known the Gibsons for longer than that, and the McGraths, and John and I were both probate judges. I was the judge before he was, and we have and John and I worked together, and Susan, I think, in
We all
legal
were-
services,
we were all legal
Connecticut
aid
Legal
together,
Aid.
yeah, back in the
Yeah.
day.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we were John was a legal aid lawyer for about 4 or 5 years, and I stayed for 23.
Ooh.
and then left, and I went into private practice and became probate judge. And when I retired, John became probate judge, and now he's
And
retired.
he just retired this
So it's,
June, I think, or
time.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, in June he had
Time moves on.
No, it does.
Right.
It does.
Well, and they they have an early retirement age, which is not good, in my estimation. I think I'm still capable of doing it, and so is John. Certainly, John is.
Yeah, it depends on what you do. You don't want to be out there lifting things and moving things around. And,
Oh yeah. Well, sure.
As a judge, I don't know how much moving you actually do.
I don't think I could
no.
do construction work, but
No,
I
no,
can't even work in the art for too long
I didn't
without
hear him
getting
say
tired.
that part of it. But,
But
70 is
I
really
can
early.
handle the desk job.
But
Yeah,
that's,
right.
that's in the state constitution, so there's not a whole lot that will be done about that. I don't think there are a
No,
lot of
they're not
people
gonna change
pushing
that.
to make sure the judges can stay in.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Right, we see that already with congressmen.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
want to get everybody
Federal
out
congressman.
sooner. Yeah, everybody's.
How about
gotta go.
Republican federal congressmen? How about them?
Chairman
Oh,
of the
sorry,
Congress.
I got a little political
Shoot,
there.
No, we can't be political. We're talking about jazz in the garden.
I know, but okay.
No political association with that.
But this
No,
is Wyndham,
No.
and
That's
you know
okay.
this
you got
is.
people from out of town too, I would suspect.
Oh yeah. There's always people.
So yeah,
people
tell us
from
a little bit
Mansfield.
how you,
I've
get
seen them
people,
there.
Lebanon.
Lebanon, Chaplin.
Yeah, people
Yep.
come from all around
Yeah.
to this jazz in the garden. And
Yeah.
they have
Colchester.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the, because I
And some of the artists too
the
are from out of
keeper
town.
of the database.
Okay.
Oh, you
So
are.
I'm
Very
just trying to
good.
think
Yeah.
of there are people who still contribute even though they moved away
Yeah.
long ago and
Well,
far
yeah.
away, but they
Sometimes-
still support
I've-
this event.
I've seen
And I
people
think
who
that,
have
yeah.
actually left Wyndham Center and moved away and are living close by. I've seen them at this event.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I keep in touch with them.
Right.
But it
I
just
could name a
goes to
few, but
show
I
you
won't.
That sense of community that Jazz in the Garden creates. And
Yeah.
people, even when they move away, they really enjoy that sense of community that they get from having the great neighbors that they have in Wyndham Center and the work that people in Wyndham Center do to create that. You have a soup every month to work on Jazz in the Garden a little bit all the way through the year.
Well, actually, two different events. Yes,
Yeah.
there was, and some of these things are breaking down a little bit. But yes, there used to be, and there still is sometimes a monthly soup night
yeah.
where the host makes two soups and everybody brings it potluck. And that's a great community event. And then we do have once a month an organizational meeting for Jazz in the Garden from March until September,
Yeah.
where there's another, food event. So
Yeah.
as long as there's food, people show up.
Well, that's a good
that's
way
my,
to get organized
that's
for the
always
event.
been my saying,
to
yeah.
get it ready for it and
Yes.
get people to commit to doing whatever they do.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, food is a good way to keep people together, but it's also that great community spirit that you have in Wyndham Center. That in some, I don't really think that there's anything duplicating it anywhere else in our town.
I only moved here 5 years ago. So I bought one of the old houses
Yeah, it's
right up
wonderful.
the street from the center.
Yeah.
And I never, ever experienced a community like this. For me, it's like a twilight zone.
Interesting.
This doesn't exist anyplace else.
Steve, that's interesting you say that because I'm 82 and I grew up in New Britain. And I remember as a little kid, I knew everybody on my street because people were not inside watching television.
Right.
They were out in the street, sitting on front porches and interacting. And somebody would come by with a fruit truck selling fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. The milkman would come up and, people would be out there. I just knew everybody. And I was
Right.
only 8 years old and I think I knew all the adults on the street.
Yeah.
But it's not like that anymore.
No. When I was a kid in New Jersey,
Yeah.
all the people around where my parents built their house, and obviously they were young, a young family, but everybody around us was, not ancient isn't fair, but they were old.
Yeah.
We were everybody's grandchildren.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so anywhere around the neighborhood,
Yeah, right, right.
and then of course, then time moves on, and then my parents became the old people on the block.
Oh, my neighborhood was.
I mean, when we
Lots
did
of
have
kids in my neighborhood.
we did have the Victorian Neighborhood Association, and that was started by Bruce Bellingham up in the Hills section, celebrating all the Victorian houses.
Yeah, that was
And we used to have,
great.
We used to have these. I was a docent from time to time in these Victorian houses, and we'd talk about the history of the house and how it was connected to the mills and that sort of thing. And we had some wonderful people, Bob Horrocks and his wife Pam took over after Bruce Bellingham left town, and then unfortunately he passed, and then just recently Bob and Pam passed. But they really organized the Victorian Neighborhood Association, and it was a wonderful, Willimantic event with the Victorian houses, and learning the history of the houses and the mills and that sort of thing was a great chance. So that went on for about 25 years.
Yeah.
But right now we don't have anybody picking up the.
Well, the young people. It's hard to get young people. Are they have it's the problem with the way things are today is things change so fast because of technology, and they didn't change. For 100 years things didn't change that much.
The telephone and radio.
Not that long ago. But because of technology, because of the internet and whatnot, things have changed. I mean, kids walk around with cell phones and.
Well, the other thing about this is
and
look at how old was Bruce Bellingham when he started this? He'd already retired, so he had retired when he was able to organize this group.
Yeah, but he's a college professor, Susan. They retire younger than people like me. I'm still working.
So why pick on kids with cell phones? I'm just saying.
I'm not picking on them. I'm not saying that we were any better than they are. It's just that it's a different world now because of the technology.
So is Bob Horace.
There are things that those kids can do with my phone that I wouldn't dream of doing.
Okay.
Or know how to do.
Right. I wouldn't even think that it was possible.
It is encouraging to see what a lot of the houses, Valley Street and the next one up, Prospect Street. What I guess it's Eastern has bought a lot of those homes.
Oh yeah,
they're renovating them back to their
High Street,
to their beautiful, high point of their
yes.
Oh yeah,
life.
they're spending a lot of money.
Just gorgeous houses. But somebody told me, or I read somewhere, that Willimantic, the only other city that has more Victorian homes than Willimantic, is San Francisco.
That's correct, yes.
I've read that too.
Yeah, no, that was our promotion in the Victorian Neighborhood Association.
I think that
we have more Victorian houses.
I think I heard it from Bruce Bellingham first. Yeah.
Yes, Bruce Bellingham did that research. And
I think it's per capita or something like that. It's a per capita type thing.
No, I thought it was just number of homes.
No, I think the number of homes.
It's 400 and some homes.
I don't know.
Victorian homes in Willimantic.
It's got to be more than that in San Francisco. A lot more.
I don't know.
They're not
because they don't
so
cover the
much
whole
bigger.
city.
They have apartments.
Pacific, whatever Heights.
No, but its heyday was in the late 19th century, and that's when those homes were built. Mm-hmm. All right, we could go on and on about that.
My house was built in 1890.
Right.
It is the second youngest old house within the historic district.
Well, don't forget that district where you live is the oldest part of the town.
Yes,
Willimantic grew up later on.
Yes, because of the
Industrial
mills.
Revolution.
Right.
Yeah,
no, I understand that.
Right.
You said 1860?
Mine is 1890.
1890.
So there's one other house that was built in like 1905, and everything else is. The house next to me was a tannery from 1776. There's a farmhouse from 1740. Across the street is a beautiful Victorian. There's a name for it. From 1835. These are, and they're well maintained.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
which is great to see.
Industrial Revolution with American Thread started in the 1860s here, and we had the first police station here in the 1880s, and the first water sewer department in the 1880s.
You're talking to me? I know that.
Yeah, well, you just said that. I just been trying to clarify what you had said about us having newer Victorian houses. No, our Victorian houses were built in 1880s, 1890s, right in there.
Yeah, I'd say most of the ones that I know of, and that we were docents, of course, many times, and we would spend almost the whole weekend doing that, and in one house, and get to know the house really well. So I'd have to read up on it and read all.
Sure.
I'm not, I'm not. Like Bruce Bellingham, an expert on Victorian homes, but I learned a lot. And I'd say most of the houses that Susan and I were in as docents were probably built in the late 1880 to 1900.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, the late Victorian period.
I learned that the fellow who built my house was 75 years old when he built it.
Yeah,
isn't that amazing?
Wow. And it was his second marriage, and he didn't live. But a couple of years.
He probably wore himself out building the house.
I don't know. I'm wearing myself out rebuilding the house.
Well, yeah, that's another reason why I don't want an old house. Anyway, the
ours
house
is brand new. 1938.
It's not Victorian. The house we originally lived in, the first house we bought in Willimantic was built in 1865. But it was not Victorian style. It had some gingerbread trim, but somebody had taken it off and put aluminum siding on it.
Oh.
But yeah, I know. But somebody said, well, the guy from the redevelopment agency came by and he said, "Oh, I'd love to see that Victorian trim back on there." I said, "Well, if you want to pay for it,
Right.
go ahead."
Yeah.
I said, I just wasn't, I was too practical about it. But it was. I've seen maps because you can go to the library, you can find all these old maps that go way, way, way back. But if you look at that street, that house was the first house on the street.
Oh, all right.
It was Bellevue Street, 34 Bellevue Street, and it was built in 1865.
Yep.
The last year, of course, of the Civil War.
Yeah.
That's about the beginning, I would say, of the Victorian period. Although I
Yes.
don't know when did Victoria become queen? 1830 or something like that.
Get very precise here.
Yeah, and
I
there were
think
different
that-
styles.
Well, she was young when she took over.
Victorian
Yeah,
homes,
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So,
didn't-
Definitely. And
didn't
they got
like-
more ornate as time went by.
right.
Didn't
Right.
really take off here. Well,
All right, it's time for a break. We're getting a sign in very demonstrative terms from Matt Rupars telling us that it's time to take our mid-show break. So we'll be right back with Steve Lamoreaux right after this break. These words from our wonderful sponsors.
hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Susan Johnson with my co-host Dennis O'Brien and our very special guest this evening, Steve Lamoreaux, who's done amazing work helping to organize Jazz in the Garden that's taking place. And please give us some updates and times. When will Jazz in the Garden occur and what time can people go?
Sure. Jazz in the Garden is this coming Sunday from the 7th of September from 3 to 6 p.m. We offer live music. We offer wine and beverages and mocktails. We have a wide selection of past hors d'oeuvres that are passed by members of the Eastern Connecticut State Rugby team. And there is a live auction. We will have a couple of tents with local artists offering their artworks. And it's just a wonderful event on a beautiful piece of property. And we would certainly love if anybody who is interested wants to come.
Absolutely. Tell
you
us
also
a little bit
have
about
a terrific jazz band.
Yes, oh, okay.
Yes.
And they're going to play, and that's why it's called Jazz in the Garden. And if you want to buy tickets, you can go on the website and buy them in advance. Still buy them in advance.
Yes, if you go through the WyndhamFreeLibrary.org, there is a link there for Jazz in the Garden, and tickets can be purchased through that. It's $70 to buy them in advance. It's $75 a ticket at the door, and we were happy to take your money.
And tell us what the money
Susan and I-
goes for.
Yes, well, the money is used for the Wyndham Free Library. This is our big fundraiser for the year. This is our 23rd annual event. In the past, the money has been used to repair the Dr. Hunt office, windows and repainting, and reglazing the windows. This past year, I think we used the money to clean up the Bacchus statue that resides inside the library, which is a fascinating story because it was carved by some British Revolutionary soldiers when they were incarcerated in the basement of one of the houses right on Scotland Road. And they asked for some carving tools, and they were given carving tools.
It's amazing.
And they carved this spectacular Bacchus sitting on a keg, and after 250 years it got dirty, so we had someone from the Hartford, the Athenaeum. Is that what it's called?
Athenaeum, yeah.
Athenaeum.
Yeah.
That who restored it.
Fantastic.
And the year before that, there was a painting of the Bacchus that had been restored. So the money is used for those kinds of capital campaigns, if you wanted to call it.
It's for
Wonderful
capital.
historic things that you are maintaining
Right.
in Wyndham Center, which is a historic district itself.
Oh,
Right.
definitely,
Yes,
definitely a
it
historic
is.
district, and it's very well maintained, and it's an awful lot of older houses there. And it's a beautiful. For those of you who haven't been there, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful area. This is an event that is very pleasant. It's a pleasant site. The music is great. The company is great. The food is great. It's well worth it. And Susan Johnson, my co-host here on the show, we have attended probably 22 out of the 23 annual events. And we keep coming back because we love it. And we don't live in Wyndham Center, but we do live in Willimantic, and we to make the long trip from Willimantic to Wyndham Center on a Sunday afternoon every year in September, and we attend Jazz in the Garden, and we will be there again on this Sunday at from 3 to 6 p.m. That's Sunday, September 7th.
Correct. We had about 120 some people last year.
Yeah, that's a
it
good
was a good
crowd.
turnout. Yeah,
But there's so much room
good.
that nobody is rubbing elbows. You know.
That's right. That's right. Well, we're rubbing elbows, but you're not. There's no. Only because you want to.
Correct.
Okay. There's plenty of space. There's plenty of room. It's roomy.
Even for dancing.
At the same time, it's great because you're gonna. There's a lot of fantastic people there that have a lot of great stories to tell. I'm certainly one, and I'll be happy to tell you a story if you come out and ask me. I hope somebody asks me.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you need anybody to ask you, Dennis.
I have some stories. I can tell you all about my early days in New Britain, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And that's a very historic
But right
place
now,
too.
we'll talk about Wyndham Center and its historic assets at this point in time.
Oh, it's fantastic!
Yes,
It's almost like a geographic museum.
Yes.
I mean, except for the people. The people are modern day people, but they're interested in living in a place that is older and with a lot of
New England charm.
a lot of New England charm. Great, well put.
Yeah.
Well put, Steve. And it's very well preserved.
Yes.
And
People
everybody
maintain their homes
Oh yeah.
because they want to.
Yeah, and if they want to do something to add to the home, they have to get permission from the Historic District Commission, which will always be reasonable, and I think, and hopefully, in doing their job.
I'm on that board too.
Oh, you are on that board.
I'm on that board too. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're very amenable to
Yeah,
the things that people want to do. And like I said, most homeowners want to do things that are appropriate.
Yeah, that look good, and that are
They're
that
looking
don't.
to return their homes to the glory that they had been before.
Right.
Nobody's
right.
looking to put a condo in the backyard.
No.
You know?
Okay, well, if they do, then they'll have issues with you.
That's right.
Because I know I was town attorney, and I've been town attorney in a lot of towns, and one of the towns I was town attorney in was Mansfield, and I once had an issue that went to court, but it was settled, and it involved a historic district commission and a church. The church was putting up a new sign in front of the church, and they were concerned that it was too large, and it didn't fit the neighborhood. And so we've negotiated it, and we got it so that it was just right. And it was, but it is so. Historic areas, historic districts are, they're created under both state and federal law. This is a state historic district which has, certain rules that have to be abided by, and they're implemented and addressed by the Historic District Commission. And Steve Lamoreaux, our guest, is a member of the commission, which is something I didn't know. See, one thing I like about doing this show, I learn all kinds of new stuff from the guests. I do.
I think that, though, when you take a look at the state historic district requirements and the federal, I think you see more leniency with the state historic requirements than you do with the federal.
And it changes, the stories I get, that it's different from town to town. We in Wyndham are more generous than some towns I've heard about.
Yeah.
Probably
There are certain towns that try to enforce things that actually we're not allowed to enforce.
probably more generous than Mansfield. Sorry, Mansfield. Well, I had that experience with that commission, but that was maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah, there have been stories about what this commission used to be like in Wyndham too. So
But,
right now it's a good assortment of people, and we're
Reasonable.
good listeners,
And reasonable.
and nobody's asked for anything that was outrageous.
It's a legal commission, and as a judge, I always like to use the word when I wrote a decision is reasonable.
Reasonable.
Sometimes,
Good word.
judges, you wouldn't need judges if everything fell into place under a statute and it was very clear. But, when the reason you're in court or the reason you're before a commission like that is, there has to be a decision made you have to make judgments about, whether something is reasonable.
Well, appropriate. In this case,
appropriate
when
is
something
almost a synonym for reasonable.
Yes, yeah. But what an individual gets when they get the approval from the commission is a certificate of appropriateness.
Okay, well,
that's what it's called.
Oh, very
I
good.
think appropriate is probably
That's
a
that's
better
great-
word for Historic District Commission than reasonable. It's more specific.
Right, right.
And how
Okay,
old
we've
is
covered
the
that
historic
now.
district? How long has it been there now? How long has it been designated a historic district?
Oh, a long
Oh
time.
God, a long time.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
I think it's
these
kind
to
of
the '80s. I don't know whether there was
Goes back to the
historic
80s?
commissions before that.
I don't know if they had,
Well, they have to
it's
apply for it. You have to go through a process.
a product of state statute. It depends on when it was passed by the legislature.
No,
Right.
I mean, you have to apply to be a historic district.
No, but in order to have a historic district commission, it has to be authorized by state statute.
Yeah, but you have
And
to
the state
apply for that.
statute went
That's
into
not the
effect.
point.
Who knows when?
Right.
That wasn't the question. It was the question is when did Wyndham Center apply to become a
I know.
state historic district?
No idea.
Okay, just asking.
It's been there a long time.
It's been there a while. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the houses have been here longer.
Yeah.
So that's all that
That's
matters.
right.
And
That's
get
right.
that, yeah, they're
the
historic.
commission itself is historic, but not as historic as the homes.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Just to,
All right, we're having fun with this. Anyway, so it's again, just to repeat, in case you didn't get it before, this great event, Jazz in the Garden, is going to take place this Sunday, September 7th, in Wyndham Center at 80 Wyndham Center Road, on a beautiful, beautiful piece of property, and it is going to be from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. There will be a jazz band, a terrific jazz band there. You get food, a great company, drink, all kinds of stuff.
And if the weather turns out to be less than cooperative, there is a very, very beautiful large barn on the property, which we've had to use.
Mm-hmm.
We used it 2 years ago for this event. Plenty of room. So rain or shine, this event goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So there's
that's right.
no reason not to show up.
It won't be postponed. This is going to go on September 7th, Sunday, from 3 to 6, rain or shine.
Rain or shine.
and the other thing about it that's really good, you want to repeat, is the fact that local artists and artists from around Connecticut make contributions to this to help raise the funds to help maintain the Wyndham Center area's historic, attributes.
Right. Yeah, between the ticket sales and the auctions that we have, and just people who donate funds for the library. This is it is our biggest fundraising event of the year, and has been very successful every year it's been run.
I really enjoyed what I bought last year. I got a wonderful little, it is a teapot in the form of a
Like the
capitol.
Capitol building.
Oh,
Yes, I really.
A new resident to Wyndham, in
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
She was still living in Hartford then.
I was
And they
thrilled with
built a
this.
house in Wyndham.
Oh,
She and her partner, and yeah, she's very, very talented. She's now, I don't know whether it's going to be available at Jazz in the Garden, but she is in the process of completing the same kind of clay model of the Wyndham Inn.
Oh, really?
And she's been posting
boy.
updates on that on Facebook.
oh, that's
So
great.
yes, and she's very clever, and these are really remarkable. But when you go to her home, she has models of some of the houses that she lived in, and other houses that people, I guess, or that she's been interested in creating, and they're all made out of clay.
Wonderful.
You know.
Well, I do appreciate this very much, and I keep meaning I like it in my little office, but
Yeah, it's in a-
I keep meaning to bring it to the Capitol and putting it in my office window there
Oh.
because I'm so pleased with it, and it's a
It's
great,
very unique.
Yeah, very, very unique. And so when I saw that, I had to buy it. And
Well, it went to a good cause.
oh, thank you. And so there are other things there that are great. And you said that she's doing the Wyndham Inn. You want to mention there's been some great progress at the Wyndham Inn, primarily because of the great community spirit of the people who live in Wyndham Center, who have been working hard to keep that up, so that finally, at some point in time, the Wyndham Inn will actually be used.
Functioning.
Yeah, and
At least
functioning.
as some kind of community building again.
Yes,
I
yes.
think they just got a grant.
Yes, they did. I helped write
The
it.
roof's been redone. The leaks have been fixed. There's a lot of work to do inside because it had been,
Sure.
so many reconstructions on top of reconstructions inside the building that they took layers and layers and layers of stuff off.
Good.
But yeah, there's still a lot of things to do with that property. But yeah, it is certainly, it could become the centerpiece of the green.
Yes.
Again.
I think it will. And I know that with the spirit of all the people who are part of that group that does the Wyndham preservation for the Wyndham Inn, they're going to have great success. They already have. They've really saved the building by fixing the roof and making it look good. And that's the first step.
The ghost tours have also been very interesting.
Oh, interesting. Tell us about that. Yeah.
They had I think 2 years ago and last year, or 3 years ago and 2 years ago. I forget. It was 2 years in a row. They had a group come in, a paranormal group that came through. And it's amazing to me that there aren't stories of more of these old homes that with things that go bump in the night. But
Sure.
we don't hear a lot about that.
No.
Well, I
But
know.
the group that came in,
Yeah,
the
go
group
ahead.
that came in to do the inn, gave presentations then 2 Novembers in a row, and they were fabulously entertaining
They are.
and very, very cool.
Back in the day when we were at Legal Services, there was a lawyer who worked with us who was living in the Wyndham Inn. And she did report of having seen or heard or some mysterious ghost-like things going on at the Wyndham Inn. So, and so this is just somebody who you wouldn't expect would ever think about a ghost. But
Right.
but
Well,
they're-
of course, the celebrity ghost for us is Elizabeth Shaw.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now why she would live in the inn was built 50 years after she was hung. So
Right,
who
right.
knows why she's there. But purportedly, she is. Now, and certainly there must have been a building at that location before the Wyndham Inn was built.
that probably
Because it
is.
wasn't built until the 1780s,
Right.
right?
Right.
And she goes back to the early 1700s.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know what the connection is there.
Yeah. There was a play done. Somebody wrote a play about her, and it was actually done locally.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'd
think
like
the
to see
Wyndham
that.
Theater Guild early on might have done it. Kristen Janes played the.
That's right. I
role
was
of
just gonna say.
Who was the daughter of a colleague of ours who was.
Oh,
Norman James.
Yeah, Norman Janes
He's
from
executive
South
director of
Wyndham.
Legal Aid.
oh, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd like to see that. They should bring that back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make that part of a fundraiser for
Wouldn't
the
that
inn.
Well, it is.
Oh, that's a
it-
great idea.
I'm sure somebody has a copy of the play somewhere, and because that's how I know of it. When you mentioned Elizabeth Shaw, I knew who you were talking about
Uh-huh.
because I remember.
Yeah,
the
you can
play.
Google it, and it's quite a story.
It certainly is.
Yeah, it's very
about
sad.
as famous as the Frog War.
Very well.
Well, the frogs are more
The frog.
amusing.
They did a play on the Frog War too. There was
They really?
oh yeah, the Frogs of
Oh,
Wyndham.
yeah.
It's called the Frogs of Wyndham. Was
Yeah.
the theater is named after. Oh, what's the theater called? It's,
Burton Levitt?
Burton Levitt. Burton Levitt is the one who wrote the play, The Frogs of Wyndham.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh,
That was
I've
a-
seen a show in there.
That was one of the Wyndham Theater Guild's first productions. A lot of our friends played in it. Victor Funderburk was part of it.
Yep.
Jeff Beadle.
Yeah.
There were others.
It was
trying to
done
think of-
twice. Yeah.
Oh, it was well. We saw it. It was at the high school
Yeah.
before they had
yeah.
a theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
all right.
This is probably in the 80s,
yeah.
early 80s.
Around the 80s.
Was it
yes.
done as a satire or a
No.
comedy?
No, I think it was
No,
pretty. No, it was done pretty
it was
straight.
a musical.
Henry
Because it's a
Hinckley.
funny story.
Henry Hinckley was in it.
yeah. Yeah.
Henry Hinckley
That's
was
right.
played
yeah.
Colonel so and so, and it was yeah. And they did that before they did the play about Elizabeth Shaw a few years before. That was their first production
Isn't
ever.
that neat?
Then they moved into the old Pulaski Club, the
Oh,
Polish
yeah.
Club,
That's right.
and they were there for a while, and then later on that was bought by some friends of mine, and now it's been bought by a church, that club, Pulaski
Oh.
Club on Ive Street. That's a nice building,
Very nice.
and it's
Done a good job with it now.
yeah, but the Theater Guild has been around for a long time, and Burton Levitt was the one who wrote the play about the Frogs of Wyndham,
Isn't that neat?
and yeah, and
Was he a local?
I think so.
apparently, yeah, apparently,
Okay.
but this is way back.
Yeah.
No.
And this guy was a 19th century guy.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't. We didn't know him. I don't go back that far. I go back away.
I'm not judging.
I go back to World War. I go back to World War II.
Okay.
That's a long time enough.
Not as a participant, just as a baby.
Doesn't feel like it's that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, again, Steve, we're winding down to the last 2 minutes. We're getting a word from our wonderful producer. What is happening on Sunday, the 7th of September? This Sunday.
This coming Sunday is the 23rd annual Jazz in the Garden, which is the major fundraiser for the Wyndham Free Library in Wyndham Center. It goes from 3 until 6. There will be a live jazz band called Mama Train, who is excellent. They performed for us last year. There is libations. There are a large variety of hors d'oeuvres that are passed. There's a live auction. There will be artists offering their art. 4 different artists offering their art this year, separate from the live auction. And the live auction will contain selected items and offered through the community, as well as dinners at some of these historic homes. There is a vacation property in New Hampshire that is offering a long weekend.
Ooh,
that's
great.
something new this year. And that's what's making up the live portion. There's about 22 items
That's
in the
wonderful.
live auction.
Sounds
and
very good.
Ernie Eldridge
Yeah.
is going to be our old mayor.
Of course, he's
assume-
Wyndham
I
Center
assume.
auctioneer. I
He
mean,
is, he's an auctioneer, and he's
He's good.
running the auction.
All right.
Yep, that's
for
great.
us.
And,
So it'll be professionally done.
in preparing for the show, which I always do, I Googled Jazz in the Garden, Wyndham Center, and you can find out all kinds of stuff about Jazz in the Garden. You can see pictures of past events. It's all kinds of good stuff. You can also Google the Wyndham Free Library, just like that, and you'll find it. And you can also Google the band, which is
Mama Train.
Mama Train, and you'll hear their music, and they're terrific.
Yes, and don't forget, you can pay online. It's only $70 for a ticket online, and this is going to be a great help to help maintain the historic attributes of the Wyndham Center area and the town of Wyndham.
Okay, this is Dennis O'Brien, and we want to thank our special guest today, and Steve Lamoreaux, and we will be back next week, Susan Johnson and I, and Matt Rupar, with another great show.